on choosing the right things to work on. So you don't become effective, I think, by using some small little tricks to do the things that you're already doing more efficiently. I think you become effective by choosing the things that you do wisely. And how can you measure if an activity is a wise activity, or just say, let's say, smart activity to work on? I think a good measurement is, maybe it's not the only one measurement, but it's certainly a measurement I think you should think about every time you truly think about committing to something, is how many goals or how many purposes you can achieve with one single activity. Let me give you an example. So let's take Jimmy. And Jimmy has the choice between let's say going on a run by himself or playing football with his friends. So, and if you then analyze these two activities by how many goals you can achieve with each of them, then, well, it kind of depends on the goals that you have, but generally you could argue that with running, Jimmy becomes more healthy, and that's it. When playing football with his friends, Jimmy will also be running because he will be running behind the ball and, playing football. But he will also play with his friends, which means he not only achieves one goal, which is improving his health through running, but he also works towards a second goal in a sense by increasing his connection with his friends by playing football with them. And so that's why Jimmy should play football in this scenario. Another way you can think about this that might be a bit more relevant to day-to-day life is as a student. Or it's not really a choice, but it is a way to immediately apply this kind of principle. And so what most people do is they go to school and then they come home, and then let's assume they come home and then they study for school. And they only really achieve one goal with this activity. They kind of study to get better grades, and that's it. But I think there are two ways you can achieve more goals with this with the same activity, and basically therefore with the same time investment. And the first leverage point, so to say, is by choosing what to study. Now, maybe in school you don't really have a lot of choice in this, but especially when you go to university, the decision what courses you're actually going to study is yours and can have a huge impact on your life. And so you can choose to study or to enroll in courses that only, get you towards a degree, or you can choose to enroll in courses that, one, get you a degree, but two, also get you knowledge that is actually useful for your own life. For example, when the courses you enroll in give you knowledge that you can immediately apply in your own life to better your own life, or if the courses you enroll in give you knowledge that helps you solve problems that a lot of people have. And so, for example, what I did is I studied economics, and the things I learned in there, well, they did help me to get a degree, but they did not help me to solve any problems that I had in my own life. And they also don't help me to solve any problems that other people really have. And they also don't help me to really solve the biggest problems that most companies face. And so that actually was a pretty damn bad decision that I made. And so maybe a better decision would be to study to like be a doctor, because you also get a degree like with any university course, but you also gain knowledge that you can both apply to your own life and to improve other people's lives. Now, I mean, I haven't like studied to be a doctor, so this is kind of just hypothesis on my part, but I think the general direction of the argument holds true, because when you study about health, you can then apply these health principles to improve your own life. I think one of the best examples of this is like Dr. Andrew Huberman, who studies health-related things for his job, and who also seems to be applying most of these things in his own life. So with the same activity, he is already way more effective because he achieves two purposes with this at the same time. And then becoming a doctor obviously also helps you help other people who have health problems. So that's like the third purpose you can already achieve simply by choosing a good topic to study. So that's the first like area of leverage you have. What do you study? And then if you study something smart, like health-related things, they can help you. Studying these can help you get a degree. They can help you improve your own life. And then they can help you help other people. And then the second thing you can do is you can use the time that you study to also improve your study skills. So if you, I don't know, consume content on how to study better, and I might just, I don't know, it's hard to make a video about this, and I'm not really into creating descriptions to my videos right now, but maybe I will do this right now, or maybe if someone watches this and writes a comment, then I will definitely write a comment answering them. I can create a list of books and resources to learn how to study. And by learning how to study while studying, you can then achieve, again, two purposes with one activity. Because one, you kind of study to get your degree, and two, you now also study, or while studying, you also improve your study skills. And this is huge, because even if you change the topic that you study later on, you can still, your study skills are transferable about all the topics. And even if you're on your job later in your life, you can then still use your study skills to learn things better and faster than other people on your job. And so this is like a skill that is hugely applicable basically every day of your life. So it's a hugely relevant skill, and it is also a skill that is very universal. So that those might seem like the way I framed it, the way I talked about this, makes it seem like those are the same things, but it's like knowing how to study is a skill that you essentially use every day. That's the first thing, because you can also develop skills that you are not really forced in your everyday life to use. Number one. And number two, it is also a skill that is widely transferable, or that's very universal. So it's like you can change the job you're in, and for example, let's say you go from being an economist to being a doctor. The skills that you develop as an economist will probably hardly help you being a good doctor. But the skill of studying helps you to be a good economist, because when there's changes in the field of economics, you can learn them better faster and understand them better faster. And then when you become a doctor, you can become a better doctor faster. And when you are a doctor, you can again learn or adapt, or learn changes in your field better and faster. So that's while studying is just a very good skill to learn generally, or in general. And then the third thing is then sharing your knowledge, because essentially writing down or like making videos about things that you have learned is already in itself quite an effective study technique. And then again, you can also achieve one more purpose with your one activity of studying, which is that you can essentially, if you have studied well and if you have created a good explanation, you can then help other people understand the topic better. So to reiterate what we have covered in the video so far, because I feel like I have not been very clear over the course of the video, is the general abstract principle that you want to follow is that you want to choose activities in your life that help you achieve as many purposes as possible at once. And then I talked about one of the best ways that you can immediately apply this principle is by when you study for school or university, for example, which assumes that you are a student. You can choose consciously what fields to study, and you should choose fields that 1, move you towards a degree, 2, help you improve your own life, and 3, help you improve other people's lives. That's number 1, choose a smart field to study. Number 2 is don't just study and also try to improve your study techniques while studying, or put properly is like work on your study techniques, and then in order to work on your study techniques, you need to have some topics that you study. And so really the proper way to frame this is to I don't know what a proper way to frame this is, but it's like one way to say this is to use the time that you already have to study for school to improve your study techniques, or to improve your study techniques by using the time that you already study for school. Yeah, this is probably not gonna become a coherent sentence anymore. So let's move on to the third point. And the third point is to share what you have learned, because it is a good way to just study in general or to test your knowledge of something. And 2, again, it creates one more layer of purpose where if your explanation is good, which is a big if, arguably, you can also help other people learn the topic way easier. So that's that. And so that's one of the ways you can apply this principle. And one of the other questions you might ask yourself is, well, what are other ways that I can apply this principle? Like, what are actual activities that achieve multiple goals? And the answer is, I have no fucking clue. Oh, I actually do have one clue, but I will tell you about it in the next video.